A quick update on gas in this country, and this is a story that I don't think is getting enough attention at all right now. So basically, the ACCC has let the government know that we could be experiencing a shortfall of gas supply on the east coast of Australia this coming winter. And the government is preparing to step in. So what has the government done? They've asked exporters one very simple question. Can you spare a little bit for the domestic market in Australia and not export as much this coming winter? But the exporters have said, yeah, nah, haven't signed the agreement, and now they're going to be coerced to back up the Australian East Coast energy system in its time of need. Instead of supporting Australia in its time of need in this historic fuel crisis, the gas industry doesn't give a shit. Have a listen to the Minister for Resources, Madeleine King, on AM just the other day.
It's prompted the federal government to formally put gas producers on notice to supply more gas locally or face restrictions on exports. The Federal Resources Minister joins me now. Madeleine King, thanks for speaking with AM this morning.
Good morning, Mel. It's great to be here.
Could you explain for me the action you're taking to prevent this potential shortfall?
Yeah, most certainly. So yesterday I issued that notice of intent under the Australian Domestic Gas Security Mechanism for the months of July, August and September, and that is based on the report of the ACCC, as you mentioned, that forecasts. The issue for me is that we are going into winter. And at a time when we see this international conflict in the Middle East causing disruption to supply, I wanted to make sure, and the government wanted to make sure, that we have all the tools available to us should there ever be an issue with our domestic supply. So what this does is brings all the exporters to the table to prove that they will make sure that shortfall doesn't come to pass. So this is a forecast only at the moment, and I want to make sure that forecast does not become reality, so Australians get the gas they need.
You've already been in talks with gas exporters, though. Have they been unwilling to commit more supply for East Coast users? Is that why you've had to pull out this big stick and threaten to use it to get them to come to the table?
Yeah.
So let's call this what it is. Australians are being asked to look out for each other, take only what they need. Meanwhile, gas companies are exporting gas even today at record profits and not willing to come to the table in the country's potential moment of need. They won't ensure supply at home unless they're forced to. This isn't just disappointing, this is completely unacceptable in the current crisis we're in. And full credit to Madeleine King and the government for, waving this big stick. Because taking on the gas industry is not easy for politicians. We've seen in our history how many resources this industry will deploy to try and get exactly what they want. But with pressure building and a very strong campaign to tax windfall profits on gas exports right now, the industry needs to pay attention. Aussies are not going to let this slide. Australians shouldn't have to fight for their own gas.